Hello and welcome to Somerville, Highlander Baseball on Somerville Ed TV. I am Todd Harmon. Tyler Aragao will be joining me shortly here at Trum Field as the Medford Mustangs are in to face off against the Highlanders. Medford coming off a championship season in the GBL last year. They are 6-6 this season, 5-4 in the GBL. Lost to the Highlanders earlier this season at Medford. Preston Ardolino was the starting pitcher against John Wright that day, as the Highlanders took that game 5-4 at Medford. Today, Colin Bourne will be on the mound for the Highlanders. He will face off against Travers Moody, senior pitcher for the Mustangs. Highlanders come in with an overall record of 8-2 and a 7-1 GBL record. They are top of the table in the GBL. 3 games ahead of the Mustangs, 1 game ahead of both Lynn Classical and Malden. Lynn Classical, though, was able to get the win at Lynn Classical on Monday, 11-3 over the Highlanders. They struggled in that game with Preston Ardolino on the mound. So we'll see if they can bounce back today. Highlanders, if they get the win today, that'll be their 9th win of the season, and that will guarantee them a postseason berth after taking last year's postseason off. Colin Bourne will be on the mound as we are about to get underway. Mike Morando at the plate for the Mustangs. He's batting .333 on the season with 9 runs scored. Bourne starts him off with a fastball down low and outside for ball 1. We saw Colin Bourne last week pitching against Peabody, a 6-3 win for the Highlanders, getting vengeance for a loss against the Tanners at Peabody. That fastball catches the outside for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike now, the count to Morando. That's a line drive into center field. Tommy Griffin will come in and make the play, as Griffin well positioned out there to make that catch. First out of the inning. That'll bring up John Wright, the shortstop for the Mustangs. Wright was the starting pitcher when these two teams faced off at Medford. .289 batting average on the season, 8 RBIs, 9 runs scored for Wright. Fastball from Bourne, low and away, ball 1. Colin Bourne has a good fastball, good location on the fastball, senior starter for the Highlanders. Likes to break off a curveball as well, has a slow curve, also a slider he will bring in there as well. So that fastball fouled back into the screen by Wright. Highlanders looking to get back to the postseason after not qualifying last season. Looking also to return to the championship ranks of the GBL, as they were the GBL champs 2 years ago. Medford stole that championship away last year. So they are the reigning champions. 2 balls and a strike now to Wright. 1 away here, top half of the first inning. Rainy day here at Trum Field. Rain sprinkling down, wind blowing directly in from center field. Fastball misses the outside for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Now the count to John Wright. Highlanders don't want to get Wright on base here and provide some people on the base paths for Burns, their number 3 hitter. He's a .447 hitter on the season. That one tipped back, foul. Strike 2 now. Full count to Wright. That's a high fastball into right center field. It's going for a ways there. as Wright put a charge into it. It's going to get into the cutoff man, Fusco, and Wright will be in with the double. Stand-up double for John Wright, and the Mustangs have something going here in the top half of the first. That'll bring up Jaden Burns. He's the lead RBI man in the Mustangs lineup. 13 RBIs on the season, 447 batting average, almost 500 batting for Jaden Burns on the season. Wright leads away from second. Fastball down in the dirt. Good job by Antonelli blocking that one. Didn't let it get by him as Wright stays at second. Ball 1 to Burns. Offering to Burns. Fly ball into left field. Cunningham will settle underneath it and make the play. That's a big out for the Highlanders early in this game. As Cunningham comes in to make that play, that'll bring up Dave Crohan. Crohan, 387 batting average on the season. Lefty number 4 hitter for the Mustangs. 2 away now. As Bourne trying to pitch around that double to Wright. That pitch down in the dirt. Antonelli blocks it, keeps the eye on Wright. Ball 1 to Crohan. To Crohan. Third base side, that's going to get through as Cunningham will pick it up, fire it towards home. Gets cut off by Bourne right in front of the plate. Good play by Bourne as they're able to get Crohan trying to stretch that into a double, but the run comes around and scores for Medford as Wright comes in, and the Mustangs will lead by a run as we move to the bottom half of the first inning here at Trum Field. We continue Medford Week here on Somerville. Ed TV will be back for bottom of the first in just a moment. Back at Trum Field here on Somerville. Ed TV, bottom half of the first inning is Medford able to get a run across on the RBI single by Dave Crohan. Crohan out as he tried to stretch that into a double as the ball was cut off by Bourne right in front of home plate. He was able to get it to second in plenty of time to take Crohan down, but Medford able to score as John Wright came around to score on that single by Crohan. Highlanders, top of the order, coming up here in the bottom of the first. Preston Ardolino, Tommy Griffin, and Colin Bourne facing off against Travers Moody. Moody got the start last year here at Trum against the Highlanders. He pitched a complete game, allowing 1 run. Ardolino scored that single run in the first inning of that game last year, as Medford won that game 6-1. Highlanders looking to reverse the script here. Takes a little bit off that pitch, catches the outside against Ardolino, evening the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Moody, a .269 ERA this season, 1-2, 1 win, 2 losses, his record. 31 strikeouts and 10 walks. Letter high, catches the outside for strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count to Ardolino. Of course, Preston Ardolino forming a campaign for the GBL MVP this season. Tremendous numbers for Ardolino on the mound as well as at the plate. That's a chopper towards short. Right back behind second, fires across, and he's able to get Ardolino on the 6-3 putout. That'll bring up Tommy Griffin. Griffin having a very nice season for the Highlanders at the plate as well as out in center field. Fastball from Moody outside. A lot of velocity on that one. Fastball gets across for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike now the count to Tommy Griffin. Moody, a veteran senior out on the mound for Medford, making his 6th appearance of the season. Live fastball, and as you've seen, takes a little bit off it as well. That's outside. Ball 2 to Griffin. 2 balls and a strike now the count. It's Medford leading 1-0 here. Medford looking to get back into the GBL chase. That's going to catch the outside for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Griffin. Medford, the reigning GBL champs, sitting at 5-4 in the GBL. They have 8 games remaining. They are 4 wins away from qualifying for the postseason. As that one left up high, ball 3, 3 balls, 2 strikes as the count runs full to Griffin. That is outside, a little bit high. So Griffin will take first base on the walk. Good eye by Tommy on that one. Colin Bourne will come to the plate looking to help his own cause. Bourne having a good season at the plate, on the mound as well. Mentioned his big win against Peabody last week. Looking to right the ship after that tough loss at Lynn Classical this past Monday. Griffin leads away from first. Pitch is left up high on the fastball. Ball 1 to Bourne. Moody, a very quick move to first base. So Griffin has to be aware of that as he leads away. 1 away here, bottom of the first. Highlanders trailing by a run. That's in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike now the count to Colin Bourne. There's quick move over by Moody. Griffin back in time. As Griffin is away with a pitch. Pitch is in there for a strike. Griffin is out. Looked like he might have gotten under the tag, but he may have slid and gotten the hand off the base. So he is caught stealing. Bourne down 1-2 in the count. Two away now here for the Mustangs. Fastball swung on, fouled back into the screen by Bourne. Moody so far just using the fastball, taking a little bit off of it, and using his location, trying to work away from these righties of the Highlanders. Bourne staying alive, fouls it back into the screen. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Colin Bourne. That one down in the dirt. Ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Bourne. 2 away here. Sean Fusco waits on deck for the Highlanders. Love to give him the opportunity here in the bottom of the first. That one's popped up sky high. It's going to make it over to the bleachers, I do believe, and it does. Count remains 2-2 on Bourne. Bourne, when he's not out here on the baseball diamond, quite the musician. Lead singer, lead guitarist as well for a band called Pluto's Return. A jammy, jazzy, jam fest type band. 2-2 offering in there, called strike 3 as he brought that curveball, just brought it right across. Bourne fooled on that one. Highlanders go down without any runs here in the first inning. Medford with the 1-0 lead. We move to the top half of the second inning here on Somerville Ed TV. We are back at Trum Field, and Tyler Aragao has joined us here on Somerville Ed TV. Traffic here in Somerville, getting to the ballpark, always difficult.
You gotta love that commute, especially during the week. Some adverse weather too, but glad that there's a baseball game still happening and a chance for the Highlanders here early to try and keep Medford down 1.
High chopper, Bourne fields it coming off the mound. High throw, but able to handle it at first is O'Brien. And Moody grounds out on the 1-3 put out, 1 away here in the top half of the second.
Well, and you were telling me, Todd, there was some hard contact to begin this game for the Mustangs, and it allowed for them to open up the scoring on a ball hard hit in the left field. And so for Colin Bourne back on the mound here, that's a good start. That little chopper back to the mound, you field it cleanly, and it's a good way to pick things back up here to start the second inning.
That pitch down low, ball 1 to Jaron Sanchez, the DH for the Mustangs. Hard wind blowing in from left field. It's going to be hard to get anything out there with any distance today. Medford leads already 1-0 here in the second. Sanchez looks at strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count to Jaron Sanchez. Sanchez batting .233 on the season. A nubber on the left-hand side of the infield will go foul. Strike 2 now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Sanchez. These two teams played a back-and-forth game at Medford. Highlanders able to have a 4-0 lead until Medford made it a 4-3 game in the 6th. Highlanders tacked one on in the 7th. Medford tacked one on in the bottom of the 7th, but could not tie it up to get it to extras, and the Highlanders took the win 5-4 at Medford. And Sanchez looks at ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the count to Sanchez. Curveball right there. Gets Sanchez out ahead of it. I think that was more of a change, I got to be honest with you. Didn't see any movement from it.
Yeah, it just looked like the way it dropped off and tailed at the very end there. And that was a pitch we didn't see much from Colin Bourne in his last out, and really relied very much on that 1-2 punch of the fastball and the curveball. But that time, sick drop there, and Sanchez out in front of it. Good start to this inning for Colin Bourne.
There's that change slash curve. Kind of a slurve situation going on there for strike 1 against Mike Stamaticus. Stamaticus batting .273 on the season. 2 away here. Leaves that one outside, doesn't get the bend across. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count to Stamaticus. Bourne leaned on the fastball in the first inning. Going for that curve. That little slurve action there here in the second. There's the fastball as he heats it up, flows it right by Stamaticus. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count. 2 away here, top half of the second. Highlanders looking to put the Mustangs down 1-2-3. Fastball, swung on and missed. And the Highlanders get 1-2-3 through the Mustangs' middle of the lineup. As the Highlanders trail, though, here as we move to the bottom half of the second inning. It's a 1-0 Medford lead here from Trum on Somerville Ed TV. Back at Trum Field on Somerville Ed TV. Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Aragao as we move to the bottom half of the second inning. Highlanders trailing 1-0. It's numbers 4, 5, and 6 for the Highlanders. Fusco, Seeley, and O'Brien facing off against Travers Moody for the Mustangs. And Fusco, good contact there into right field. Turns Chastain all the way around. Fusco into second base. He's going to make the big turn, looking to go for 3, sliding in head first, and he's in with a lead-off triple. The tying run is 90 feet away.
Well, we talked about, and you talked about, Todd, the hard contact to begin this game for the Mustangs. And after a quiet start for the top half of the order for Somerville, Sean Fusco gets this party started with a big bang to begin the inning, and you mentioned it with Chastain getting turned around there in right field. That ball rolling almost all the way to the softball field there allowed for Fusco, who's got great speed along the bases, to make that turn and slide safely into third.
Caleb Seeley up for the Highlanders now. Runner on third is Fusco. Seeley wants to elevate a pitch, get it up into the air, into the outfield at the minimum to bring Fusco home and tie this game up. Highlanders would love to see a base knock, though. Maybe get something going here. A big inning going. Seeley out ahead 1-0 in the count. Fastball catches the inside to the lefty Seeley.
He's trying to work inside here to Seeley. Doesn't want to open up that outer half of the plate and allow for that ball to be hit hard out into that left center field gap. Doesn't need to be hit far, though.
Seeley, big swing there. They've got him caught at third, but unable to make the play at third is Burns as the throw came down to him from the catcher Regan. And Fusco is in with the tying run. It's 1-1 here at Trum.
So score that E2, I would imagine. That throw really ate Burns up, it looked like, along the line. Fusco, he was taking a healthy lead there, and I'm not sure if Regan thought he could catch him and out-fool him in that situation, but instead he put his third baseman in a tough spot, and Fusco took full advantage.
Seeley now fouls that back into the screen, stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here, tied up 1-1. It's a new ball game here in the second. Fusco led off with the triple and was able to take home on the misplayed throw down to third. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I mean, Regan had Fusco leaning the wrong way, had him dead to rights, and Burns had gotten that ball cleanly. But I'm not totally sure as that one's in there for called strike 3 on Seeley. Not totally sure. It's difficult to throw around the runner down the third baseline, and that might have caused a problem for that throw. Donovan O'Brien will come to the plate now for the Highlanders.
And give full marks to Sean Fusco, too, for getting into the heads maybe of the Mustangs over there at third base.
O'Brien fouls that back into the screen off the handle. No balls and a strike now to Donovan.
You start the inning off with such an aggressive approach at the plate. And the Highlanders, they've been an aggressive team when on the base pass this season. So down early here at home, keep the momentum going by continuing that same aggressive play style. Paid off for Fusco there.
0-1 offering to O'Brien, left up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count to O'Brien as the rain picks up here at Trum Field.
Knew this would be a factor today. It's supposed to be a rainy evening and into tomorrow morning too as well, but
swung on and missed by O'Brien, got out ahead of that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Full marks to both of these teams.
Full marks to us sitting out here in the rain, for goodness sake. Come on,
absolutely. Getting things set up and ready to go here, and give full marks to everyone here at Trum for soldiering through this, at least the early portions of it. We'll see how things go.
Fastball swung on and missed by O'Brien as Moody puts the high heat by him. That'll bring up Kyle Antonelli. 2 away here, bottom of the first, as the Highlanders have tied it on the Fusco triple, and being able to take home.
Nice response, though, from Moody on the mound to come back with back-to-back strikeouts, and that last pitch, the put away, that high fastball, just too tantalizing of a pitch there for O'Brien to hold off.
Another high fastball, letter high to Antonelli in there for called strike 1.
And if that top of the zone starts to expand, if it's there as a pitcher, you begin to recognize that it's an area you can start to hammer and work a little bit more.
That's a chopper, first base side. Sliding over to get it is Crohan, throws over to Moody, and that will do it on the 3-1 put out. But the Highlanders able to tie it up. It was all Sean Fusco as he was able to get across on a misplayed ball after leading off the inning with a triple. We are tied at 1 here at Trum Field on Somerville Ed TV. Back at Trum Field here on Somerville Ed TV, tied up 1-1 as we move to the top half of the third inning. Mustangs will have numbers 8, 9, and 1 coming to the plate. Owen Regan, Emmett Chasteen, and Mike Morando. I gotta say, Tyler, as the weather is getting cooler, the wind continues to blow in, runs may be coming at a premium as we go through the remainder of this game.
And it's gonna be interesting for both of these pitchers going forward, how that ball feels, how your grip is able to maintain throughout the course of this game. Can't imagine things improving here this afternoon, Todd, from a weather standpoint and from a rain standpoint. But both of these pitchers seem to be unfazed so far by the conditions here early on. And as a result, 1 run apiece here as we make our way into the bottom of the second. But that top of the order coming up for the Mustangs, if they can get there.
3 straight strikes to Owen Regan, and he is down swinging as Bourne just pumped him right in there. Brings up Emmett Chasteen, the right fielder. Chasteen got turned around on that triple by Fusco. Chasteen getting turned around in that situation probably allowed Fusco the opportunity to get to third base on that hit.
It was a well-hit ball that was going to carry either way, but Chasteen losing it through the air, got himself turned around with his back facing towards the ball and had to track it almost all the way into the softball field, and Fusco with his speed able to take full advantage of that.
Bourne out ahead of Chasteen. No balls and a strike. Fastball in there, knee high, called a ball though, I believe.
Couldn't see, I was trying to see the ump's official call, but I thought that was right at the knees for a called strike, but I don't think Bourne got it.
Chopper, second base, Fusco charging in, fires over, and gets the out. Great job there by Sean Fusco as he was aggressive on that ball. Chasteen showing speed down the baseline, and if Fusco had laid back to play that on a hop, he probably would have gotten a base hit with a Chasteen.
And I think that's when Sean Fusco is at his best. He's playing with that aggressive attack mentality, and it doesn't matter if it's from an offensive standpoint at the plate or what he brings to this team defensively at second base. Makes a good read onto that ball, onto it quickly, and records another important quick out for the Highlanders, who are working quickly here behind Bourne.
That curveball did not break across the plate. Ball 1 to Morando. As Morando lined out, well hit ball to center field. Sinking liner that Tommy Griffin came in and played. Fastball chopped down first base line. O'Brien will get it and take it himself. 3 unassisted. 1, 2, 3 go the Mustangs. We are still tied at 1 as we move to the bottom half of the third inning here from Trum Field on Somerville Ed TV. Back at a windy, rainy Trum Field on Somerville Ed TV, bottom half of the third inning. Highlanders have numbers 8, 9, and 1 coming to the plate. As Hugh Cunningham, will step in for his first at-bat of the game, facing off against Travers Moody. Caden Martell waits on deck, and then they'll turn over the lineup to Preston Ardolino. Stings that one into left, does Hugh Cunningham. Past the diving attempt of right. First man on base, second inning in a row, Tyler.
More good contact early to begin the inning too, Todd, for the Highlanders, and this is becoming a trademark of this team, especially from the games that we've seen here at Trum Field. The aggressive mentality at the plate, first pitch swinging, and for Hugh Cunningham Spears, you're not going to see a much better pitch than that to hit from Moody, and that's excellent hard hit contact in the left along the ground, and it's a runner on.
It's Cunningham going, and that ball is out into center field. Misplay. I don't know whether Caden Martell offered at that pitch. I think he pulled the bat back. However, the first baseman, Crohan, broke. Morando, the second baseman, broke over to first, and nobody was covering second, and Cunningham said, "I'll go ahead and steal a bag then. Thank you very much."
I put Wright in a tough spot there over at short to try and come over, and then nobody was in the vicinity backing things up in the outfield either. If that ball had bounded any farther, Cunningham Spears could have jogged all the way to third. I thought he would have had a chance.
So the Highlander go-ahead run is in scoring position as that pitch from Moody is up high for ball one. We'll see whether that first pitch was called a ball or a strike. It was called a ball, and he did not offer at it. So 2-0 is the count.
Dangerous spot here. Caden Martell in the 9-hole. How many times have we seen it, Todd?
Yes.
He's produced.
And there he is again, as that's an end of left field. Cunningham will be held at third base as Martell on the throw home. It wasn't cut off, and Caden Martell will take second. So a single into left for Caden Martell. Cunningham moves to third. Great read by the right fielder Martell as he saw the throw get all the way home, and he took advantage by getting into second. There's two Highlanders in scoring position, and big bad Preston Ardolino comes to the plate.
And this is the luxury of having Caden Martell being in that 9-hole spot and having the ability all season long to produce with timely hits and get on base. It sets the table up for your best hitter, for your 5-tool player in Preston Ardolino to come up now with nobody out and two men in prime scoring position here early off a pair of well-hit balls by Cunningham Spear and Martell. It's been a trademark of the Highlanders all year long, that bottom of the order production to string things along.
So important, especially when you have somebody the quality of Preston Ardolino hitting in the leadoff spot. You put him there to get those extra at-bats throughout the season that the leadoff spot ends up with in games. But if you can set the table from the bottom of the order, as the Highlanders have done, you can make some noise at the top of the lineup. Ardolino up 2-0 now as Moody maybe trying to work around him with first base open. Infield is in. That's a chopper down towards third base. As firing home is Burns. They're able to get Cunningham. As that stayed fair for Burns, fired it home. So Ardolino will be at first base on the fielder's choice. Cunningham out at home on the 6-2 putout. That was a good transaction for the Mustangs, as now the Highlanders only one runner in scoring position. As Martell stayed at second base, Tommy Griffin will come to the plate. Griffin walked back in the first inning and was caught stealing. That pitch drops in for strike one. As Moody trying to work around some trouble here, some traffic on the base paths here in the bottom of the third. 0-1 from Moody, left up high for ball one. 1-1 strike, now the count to Tommy Griffin. Colin Bourne waits on deck. One away here, bottom of the third. Highlanders have the go-ahead run in scoring position. That's Caden Martell at second. That one left up high, ball two to Griffin. Good job, buddy. 2 balls and a strike now. Wind continuing to blow in from left center field, just straight in.
Griffin taking his time here at the plate. Not noted to be a chaser. Doesn't stretch or extend for pitches. 2 left up high.
High heat that time, swings through it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count to Griffin.
Get to a point in the at-bat where maybe you lay off a pitch, maybe you lay off of it one more time, but you get it a third consecutive time. Almost goads you into swinging there, and Moody able to induce that.
Runners are away as Griffin swings, fouls it back into the screen. So Ardolino and Martell will head back to first and second. Just get a feeling with the weather today, the rain coming down, the wind blowing in. Runs will be difficult to come by. Highlanders have had the leadoff man on 2 innings in a row. We're able to get one across in the second. Trying to get one here in the third, at least. As Moody off the rubber. Martell dancing away. He'll slide back into second.
You got to keep him honest there after the attempted hit and run.
Two to Griffin. Pops that one up, off on towards Broadway. Joe, where's your car? Well,
didn't hear anything, so that's a good sign. Those are good sounds.
Our director, Joe Constantine, got his windshield replaced from last week's festivities against Peabody. Suffered the foul ball to the windshield. Two again from Moody to Griffin. It's a hot shot up the middle, shortstop right. He let it play him, and the Highlanders are safe all over the field. I talked about that play by Fusco that ended the inning, or I should say back in the second inning, back in the third inning, earlier on the top of the third inning. He was very aggressive on that ball, Tyler. That's what Wright should have done in that situation. He played back, that short hop ate him right up, and now the Highlanders have the bases juiced up for Colin Bourne.
And there was certainly a chance there for Wright to try and turn two, to not come away with any outs there. That's a tough blow for the Mustangs as they're loaded up here with 1 out, and Wright playing that almost into the outfield there, and it just took one bounce in onto him that didn't allow for him to field it cleanly into his glove, and it choked him up real good. He couldn't even make a flip over to second.
Yeah, Wright was positioning himself to flip that over towards second base was what it looked like. As that one out on Broadway again. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Bourne. But due to that fact, that ball just chewed him right up, got that short hop, and it played him. So the Highlanders have the bases loaded up here, 1 away. Bottom of the third, tie ball game, 1-1. Pitcher Colin Bourne at the mound. Fouls that back into the screen. Good hack there by Bourne. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count.
Bourne just trying to see something and drive it there on that swing. Just off the top end of the bat, a nibble to get a piece of it, but trying to get a lot more with that swing to bring home much more than just Martell standing over there at third.
Martell's at third, Arlino at second, Griffin at first. 1-2 offering to Bourne. Holds off on the pitch outside, evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bourne did strike out back in the first inning. So he struck out looking. Curveball broke across the plate on him. He knew it, and headed straight back to the dugout. He needs to keep his eye out for that pitch again. 2-2 now the count. Fastball from Moody, fouled off of home plate. Count remains 2 strikes. Highlanders making Moody work out there on the mound. On the other side of the ledger, Bourne has been very quick through his 3 innings of work as he's at 31 pitches in those 3 innings.
Certainly the most taxing of the innings so far for Travers Moody here in this game. Really big spot for him to work through.
1 away, bases filled with Highlanders. 2-2 offering. Leaves it outside. Ball 3. Count is full. Moody's got nowhere to put Bourne.
That looked like that curveball, Todd. And it just looked like the location was off.
Full count now to Bourne. Swung on and missed. As he gets the fastball by Bourne, that will bring up Sean Fusco. Fusco tripled to lead off the second. Came in to score on an error by the third baseman, Burns.
That's a big comebacker for Moody with the bases loaded there. Picking up your defense after that ball had eaten up right. You come back, really good battle, pitcher on pitcher. You strike out Bourne, but not out of the woods yet with Fusco coming up. And, well, you want to be aggressive here with the bases loaded, the opportunity just staring you down right now. If you're the Highlanders, you can't get undisciplined at the plate here if you're Fusco. And at times I think we've seen that become something where he is chasing pitches, and that time there he takes a really good ball to begin the at-bat.
Hot shot foul here to the first base side, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike to Fusco. Highlanders with the bases loaded. Moody trying to pitch around these base runners and get out unscathed. So Highlanders have not been able to bring anybody across here in the bottom of the third. Got first 2 runners on. Cunningham was out earlier in the inning trying to get home on a ground ball. Caden Martell looking to steal home, and he is out. Wait a second. We have a balk, I believe. There is a balk as the base umpire calls the balk. Balk is the call, as the umpires will talk about it, but the call made very clearly by the base umpire coming in and calling the balk. Now the question is, if that is considered a pitch that came home, did he come off the rubber before he threw that ball home? And that's, I believe, what the base umpire is saying. It wasn't a legal pitch because he came off the rubber. But then, in that case, he would be throwing home to get the runner out.
Right.
So the umpires will converse here. Medford fans granting their opinion of the issue. Take a minute here while they're talking this over. Want to remind everybody what's going on. We've got one more game here in Medford week coming up tomorrow. It's a big girls lacrosse game. The girls lacrosse team, Highlanders, defeated Malden yesterday. They have earned a place in the postseason 4 straight years. Girls lacrosse has gone to the postseason, as that program was begun just 4 or 5 years ago. As Yanni Saragatis, their head coach, it was begun with lacrosse for dummies and a dream, and now the out is given at home plate, and Matty O'Donnell would like to have a word as he bounced off the rubber. Matty O'Donnell very unhappy with the situation, but that will be the call as 2 Base runners out at home plate. Highlanders held off the scoreboard. No runs in that inning as they got 2 hits, leaving 2 on base. Score remains 1-1 here at Trum. We move to the top half of the 4th inning on Somerville Ed TV. Back at Trum Field on Somerville Ed TV. Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Aragao as we move to the top half of the 4th inning. Medford will have the heart of their order. Numbers 2, 3, and 4, Wright, Burns, and Crohan. As we are tied 1-1. Highlanders had a situation there at the end of that inning where they thought maybe they had the opportunity, a run maybe coming in based on a balk. Instead, it was an out at home. As a strike across home plate there from Bourne to start off right. Tyler, that's something the Highlanders got to put in their pocket. They got to forget about that and move on. They're tied 1-1. Let's get going.
Yeah,
you know?
you're still in a good place here in this ball game as we head into the 4th inning, and obviously not ideal to come out of that situation with no runs across home, having loaded up the bases, getting some early contact onto Travers Moody and really making him work in that inning. Full marks to the Mustangs pitcher for how he worked through a jam. Now the Highlanders have to flush that and come back to work.
Tough play there as it tipped off the glove of Colin Bourne. Ardolino unable to make the adjustment behind second base. And Wright is safe at first with the single. Wright 2 for 2 on the day with a single, double, and run scored. That'll bring up Jaden Burns. He's the most dangerous in the Medford lineup. Batting .447 coming into the game with 13 RBIs. He flew out to left in the 1st inning. Nobody out here as Medford has the leadoff man on for the first time this game. That's pitched down low in the dirt. Ball 1. Nice job by Antonelli blocking the play.
And I wonder there if that ball didn't go off the glove of Bourne. Got to think Ardolino able to make the scoop and play on over to first.
Looked like he was still going to be able to do it, even though it did tip off the glove of Bourne. But I think that added a weird spin to the ball.
Moments, though, in the game that you just can't let phase you because where you stand right now, you're hanging in. Not the most ideal day from a weather standpoint, but 1-1 here in the early goings, and you've just got to find a way to keep battling through, even when things maybe necessarily don't break your way.
2-0 offering. That's that slurve. Drops in for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike now to Burns. Nobody out here. Bottom or top half of the 4th inning. Tied 1-1. Highlanders. Lots of traffic on the base paths in the bottom of the 3rd. We're not able to bring anybody home. Medford now the leadoff man on, but Burns fouls that back into the screen. 2-2 is the count to Jaden Burns.
And that's the ability of Colin Bourne and what makes him such a weapon for the Highlanders when he's on the mound. His ability to conserve pitches, but also the ability to, even when falling behind to hitters, battle back quickly and not waste pitches in an at-bat. He's going up against a really dangerous hitter here in Burns, and he's got him in a good spot now after starting off 2-0.
Bourne had gotten Medford 1-2-3 in the 2nd and 3rd innings, striking out 3 batters of the 6 that he faced. He was on cruise control until Wright hit that single. Two offering to Burns. Inside and low for ball 3. Count runs full. Talked about Bourne's effectiveness. He was at 31 pitches in his 3 innings of work coming into this inning after 3 innings of work. Moody, after that big inning for the Highlanders, base paths wise, but no runs. Moody is up to 51 after 3 innings of work. He's right away with the pitch. That is a ground ball. It's going to get through the hole as Fusco had vacated to cover second. Hit and run to perfection as Burns pokes the ball out into right for the single, and Wright will be on third on the hit and run. Excellently called there by Medford, and that'll bring up Dave Crohan. Crohan singled, got the RBI back in the 1st inning. As Cunningham from left field able to get the ball in. Bourne fielded it in front of home plate and then fired to second to get Crohan trying to stretch a single into a double. Runners on the corners, nobody out. See what Bourne does here with traffic on the base paths.
It's well executed and well timed.
As Burns will take second base. No throw down by Antonelli. 2 runners in scoring position for the Mustangs. The Highlanders will bring their infield in onto the grass. Nobody out. 1-1 is the score here. Top of the 4th inning. Crohan fouls that back into the screen. No balls, 2 strikes, the count to Crohan. Fastball swung on and missed. And Crohan will head back to the dugout after the strikeout. That'll bring up Travers Moody. Moody grounded back to the pitcher Bourne. Chopped back to the pitcher Bourne back in the 2nd inning, 0-for-1 on the day. And O'Donnell will walk Moody. Intentional walk there to get to Sanchez. Sanchez 0-for-1 on the day. He struck out back in the 2nd. Bases are now loaded with the Mustangs. Double play is possibly in order as the Highlander infield moves to double play depth. 1 away here, top half of the 4th, tied 1-1. GBL rivals, the reigning champion Mustangs, the 1st place Highlanders. That slurve grounded to 3rd. Seeley will send it home. He gets the out as Antonelli holds on to the plate with his foot. Well played there by Caleb Seeley at 3rd. As again, difficult to throw down when you've got the runner in base paths there, in the base path there, but Antonelli handled it well, kept his foot on the home plate as well. So 2 away here, bases still filled with Mustangs, and that will bring up Mike Stamatakis. Stamatakis struck out, swinging back in the 2nd. Fastball knee high, but called a ball. Up. That's in there for a strike. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Gotta love the confidence Bourne has in that pitch and in that location to go right back to the well there and this time get the call on what looked to be identical pitches.
Fastball down low. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike to Stamatakis.
Here you go, Mike, win it.
And Bourne battling back here in this inning through some adversity, very similar to how Moody was able to navigate through that bottom half of the 3rd inning. Some leadoff contact from Wright and Burns, but a little bit of strategy and some excellent pitching and infield defense may help the Highlanders get through this unscathed.
That's fouled off 3rd base side, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes as Bourne is 1 strike away from pitching his way out of trouble, just as Moody did in the bottom of the 3rd. So Highlanders had the bases filled up. Moody was able to pitch out of it. Now Bourne with the Mustangs filling up the bases, looking to get out of this one. 2-2 to Stamatakis. Ground ball, shortstop Ardolino charges in and boots it. And the Mustangs have taken the lead as Burns comes across to score.
That's a tough break there. The Highlanders got what they wanted, a ball along the ground fieldable and playable for someone, especially of Preston Ardolino's caliber. And that time the ball unobstructed coming through. It was hit hard on a line by Stamatakis, and that's a play that we would expect Ardolino to make, and instead it allows for the go-ahead run to cross here in the fourth.
Brings up Owen Regan. He struck out on 3 straight pitches back in the third. He's behind 0-1. Yeah, Ardolino looked like maybe he was thinking about that throw that he was going to make before he got the ball into the glove. May have lifted the head up a little bit early there.
Yeah, never had it secured in the webbing.
Yep.
It was in the glove, but just not fastened. And a little bit rushed there in the process. You can feel the heat on you in an instance where you've got 2 outs, you're feeling the inning and the end of it right there on your fingertips, and that can maybe speed things up a little bit along the infield. And even for a player like Ardolino, who we've seen make those plays and make even more impressive plays than that time and time again, Todd, over there at short, sometimes those just happen, they get to you. Now it's all about limiting damage here.
And that's tipped back into the glove for strike 3. That'll do it for the Mustangs, but they're able to force one across on the unearned run as Burns comes in on the error by Ardolino. 2-1 is the Mustangs lead as we move to the bottom half of the fourth inning from Trum here on Somerville Ed TV. Back for the bottom of the fourth inning here on Somerville Ed TV. Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Aragao as Medford was able to force one across in the top of the fourth inning. Let's see if the Highlanders can answer back, as it will be Fusco, Seeley, and O'Brien. Numbers 4, 5, and 6 for the Highlanders.
Well, it's a game, Todd, that seems fitting for the type of day that we have here in Somerville. It's had a real gritty, not pretty feel to it. 2-1, bottom of the fourth. And both of these teams have had to get a little dirty, so to speak, to try and manufacture runs. It hasn't come in pretty fashion by any means, but for the Mustangs, they take advantage of an error in the infield, and with how Moody's been dealing on the mound so far, they've got to feel pretty confident with a 2-1 lead.
And Moody gave up singles to the first 2 batters he saw in the third inning, but was able to pitch around it as the Highlanders had the bases loaded. But Caden Martell was caught trying to steal home when Fusco was at the plate. Fusco 1 for 1 with a run scored today as he tripled to lead off the second. Came in to score on an error. The Highlanders' lone run of the day. That's a chopper here to first base. Backing up to get it is Crohan. He's able to take it unassisted. That'll bring up Caleb Seeley. Seeley struck out looking back in the second inning.
Oh, and we've seen hard hit balls, but also balls hit on a bounce here in the infield give some of these infielders difficulties in terms of making plays and registering outs. Nice job there over at first to secure things by Crohan. Played that ball nicely off the hop into his chest and was able to field it unassisted.
Seeley looks at ball 1 ball, no strikes. Now the count to Caleb Seeley.
This is the kind of putouts that Moody's going to rely on, trusting his defense to allow for himself to extend deeper into this game.
Takes a little bit off that, gets Seeley well out ahead of it. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got him to go fishing there. Pitch really breaking down low.
Moody doing the excellent job pitching around the trouble he had in the third. He'd love a quick, easy inning here in the fourth, as that ball fouled out on the left-hand side for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Seeley.
Since those earlier knocks, Todd, Moody's done a nice job to pitch around contact here. Trying to make these Highlander hitters chase.
That's knee-high, called strike 3. Seeley strikes out looking for the second time today. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. That'll bring up Donovan O'Brien. O'Brien struck out swinging back in the second.
Attacking those left-handed hitters, working that inside. Moody just locks Sealy up there on a real nasty pitch right along the knees.
That one breaks across for a strike one to O'Brien. Highlanders looking for the win today. That will get them into the postseason as they look for their 9th win of the season. A win today also is needed to keep them out in first place in the GBL, as a loss will be their 2nd GBL loss. That will move them even with Lynn Classical and Malden with 2 losses. In the GBL, they have 1 game remaining against Malden. They have split on the season against Lynn Classical. As that pitch inside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to O'Brien.
Here you go, Kate.
See, Moody goes right back to the well, tries to hit that same spot again.
Took a little bit off. O'Brien was able to chip it out into center field for the single. Makes a big turn at first and will head back. 2-out opportunity here for the Highlanders as O'Brien singles into center. That'll bring up Kyle Antonelli. Antonelli grounded out to first base back in the second inning. Highlanders looking for some 2-out thunder here.
Really long single there for O'Brien.
I liked his approach at the plate on that one. There's another foul ball back towards Broadway.
Ooh.
That one sounded like we had some contact.
That one certainly did, Todd.
No balls and a strike to Antonelli. I liked O'Brien's approach there as Moody took a little bit off that pitch. O'Brien, though, slowed his swing down, didn't try to do too much with it, just knocked it out into center field. As that back into the screen for strike 2 to Antonelli.
Yeah, got himself timed up to that pitch and got a real good part of the barrel onto it to sky it out into center field.
2 outs here. Runner at first is O'Brien. Antonelli down 0-2. Swings and fouls that one back into the screen.
Thought Stamatakis did a pretty good job, too, out there in center field to not get turned around and to not lose that ball. Kept it in front of him after it dove and took a hop in on him. Kept Sealy to, O'Brien rather, to just the 1 base.
Wind blowing in. Any balls going into specifically center or left are going to be diving down as that wind will knock them down. So Antonelli looks at ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Kyle. Hugh Cunningham waits on deck. He's 1 for 1 on the day as he singled in the 3rd. Ball 2 strike offering to Antonelli. Frozen pizza as he watches strike 3, and that will do it for the Highlanders in the bottom half of the 4th inning. We move to the 5th. Highlanders trailing this one 2-1 as the Mustangs will be up here on Somerville Ed TV. Back at Trum Field here on Somerville Ed TV. Highlanders trailing 2-1 as Medford will have numbers 9, 1, and 2 coming to the plate. Emmett Chasteen, Mike Mirando, and John Wright. Chasteen grounded out to second. Back in the 3rd. He's able to get that one past the diving attempt of Preston Ardolino, and for the 2nd inning in a row, the Mustangs have the leadoff man on. That'll flip the lineup as Mirando will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day.
A good charge by Chasteen to begin this inning. We've seen both teams attack the first pitch aggressively, and he's able to split the gap right up the middle. Another close play for Ardolino on the dive, just past the webbing, and those are big boosts for a team when you can get that type of swing from your 9-hole hitter and start the inning off with the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, big lead for Chastain at first. Throw over. He's able to slide in underneath the tag of O'Brien. Mustangs with a runner on. Tough part of their order coming up is the top, Morando. 333 hitter. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Fires over again for Chastain. He's able to get back just in time.
And leading favorably there off of first. Bourne trying to keep him honest.
Fastball catches the outside to Morando. Strike one. And Chastain is away with the pitch. It's a pop-up. Caden Martell had to run a mile to get there, and he's able to double him up off of first. Wow. As Fusco was covering second, he couldn't range back to get it. Caden Martell comes charging in, ran a country mile, and then fired it to first to double up Chastain. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. And that will bring up John Wright, who's 2 for 2 on the day with a single, a double, and a run scored for the Mustangs.
Oh, huge turn of events, big swing, and it comes defensively for the Highlanders. Caden Martell had to cover a lot of ground, like you mentioned, Todd, just to get underneath that ball from Mirando's bat, and then the awareness, the heads-up play to then quickly in one motion fire over to first. O'Brien well positioned, anchored on the bag, and Chastain just caught no man's land.
Hot shot to Fusco, and he let it play him. As he waited for the ball to come to him, bounced right over his glove. Morando, or Burns, I should say, Wright, goodness gracious, Wright will be on with the error on Fusco, bringing up Burns.
Well, they're all so productive, and they all play such a big part offensively for the Mustangs, so no surprise that after that quick put-out play there for the Highlanders, that Wright is able to step in and take advantage of, again, a misplay in the infield. That one, another hard-hit ball along the ground. Looked like it caught Fusco off the palm of his glove and just sprung away from him.
Burns, 1 for 2 on the day. He singled in the 4th and came around to score what is the go-ahead run currently. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Runner at first is Wright. Burns out ahead of that one. Full change action there, a little change up there from Bourne.
Got him fooled bad too. Lunging out in front of it. Seems like Bourne's really mixed up his pitches more in this game here against Medford than he did last time we saw him here at Trump Field against the Tanners.
Getting the opportunity to see 2 veteran pitchers today, Moody and Bourne. Bourne throws that one in for a ball, 1 strike. Now the count to Burns. They have looked like veterans out there. Both of them getting in some trouble. Both of them pitching through that trouble.
And no surprise, it's a low-score affair here this afternoon.
Bourne catches the outside, knee high for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Burns. One-two offering, Wright is away. That is strike 3. Antonelli's got to throw down to complete it, and he does. And that will do it for the Mustangs here in the 5th. Great defensive play by Caden Martell to double up Chastain from first. Keeps this game a 1-run game. Highlanders have some work to do, though, as they trail 2-1, moving to the bottom half of the 5th inning on Somerville Ed TV. We are back on Somerville Ed TV, moving to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Aragao. It's numbers 8, 9, and 1 coming to bat for the Highlanders. Hugh Cunningham will lead off, followed by Caden Martell and Preston Ardolino. It's Cunningham 1 for 1. Singled, but was caught trying to steal home. Back in the third.
Highlanders creating some traffic for Moody to eventually navigate himself through, but ultimately their over-aggression in some situations, trying to manufacture what was at the time the potential go-ahead run, instead ended up turning into a couple of outs and kept the door open for the Mustangs here to eventually take the lead as the rain starts to pick back up here at Trum.
I was about to say.
It had gone quiet.
One ball, 2 strikes now, and yeah, the rain is picking right back up. It had gone down for a few innings there. I think we had about an inning and a half without a lot of rain, but the rain is back. As Cunningham looks at a called strike 3 as Moody catches the outside with the curveball. 1 away here, bottom of the 5th inning. That'll bring up Caden Martell. Martell singled back in the 3rd, was caught trying to steal home. Had a credible double play in the top half of this inning to help keep this a 1-run game as he watches strike 1.
This is where they could really use his bat, though, to try and ignite something offensively here for the Highlanders, try and solve what's been a really efficient and effective performance here from Travers Moody on the mound. 5 strikeouts alone just by looking, and he's already got 2 strikes up on Martell, who's taken 2 straight pitches here for strikes.
Yeah, 6 strikeouts all day for Moody.
You mentioned 2 veteran pitchers. They've looked like it here.
Looking for number 7 here. 0-2 offering to Martell in the dirt. Ball 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Caden Martell.
Just looking for something right now if you're the Highlanders. Something to break up this rhythm. Something to maybe not only get a jolt into your lineup, but send a jolt here through this field and maybe wake everybody up. What's been a pretty damp and tampered down afternoon.
Caden Martell looks at ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Preston Ardolino waits on deck. Sure, it's looms large in his memory. An error by Ardolino is how Medford took the lead with the bases loaded. He would love the opportunity to make up for that at the plate, I am sure.
Martell's done such a great job all season long, too, of passing the baton on. Doesn't matter the situation, where he stands in the count, whether it's 1 out or 2 outs.
2-2 to Martell. It's a chopper as he reaches out for it. Burns charging in. Can't make the play. And Martell is on. That'll bring up Preston Ardolino with 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Highlanders have the tying run on first. Ardolino represents the go-ahead run. And we will have a meeting at the mound as Medford head coach Aragao Azzarello heads out to talk to his righty Moody. The meeting on the mound is over. Ardolino steps in. Fastball up high from Moody. Ardolino watches it go by. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 away here, bottom half of the 5th inning. Caden Martell stands at first. He is the tying run for the Highlanders. As Moody throws over, Martell back easily. To Ardolino. In there for a called strike as the curveball breaks across. Letter high. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike now to Ardolino.
Both these pitchers navigating and going through their rhythms and routines so efficiently.
Moody fires over to first. Martell back easily. Moody keeping Martell close though.
Really haven't seen any pitch yet so far where either hurler's lost confidence in it. They've continued to mix and match.
Fastball, Ardolino swings through it. Some serious mustard there from Moody. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count to Preston.
Trying to just turn it up here if he can, even another octave after that nasty letter-high curveball. Goes back to the gas.
Leaves that one outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count to Ardolino.
You don't mind going back, trying to maybe induce a chase there to the outside, but against a hitter like Preston Ardolino, the only way is through. You've just got to find a way to attack him here head on.
2-2 offering. That's a fly ball left field. Back, ranging back and making the play is Colin O'Keefe. Well hit ball by Ardolino. Don't think the wind helped in that case though, Tyler.
Wouldn't surprise me there, Todd. That was a well-hit ball by Preston Ardolino. We saw him send one out over that left field fence against the Tanners last week, and on maybe a warmer day, Todd, with the sun out and shining, who knows, that ball could have carried or stayed up a little bit longer, a little bit farther. But a good play nonetheless with this rain coming down by O'Keefe to track it and keep eyes on it.
As Griffin is up, pitch is outside, gets back to the backstop. Martell will take second, so the Highlanders have the tying run in scoring position after the wild pitch by Moody. Griffin 0 for 1. He walked back in the first, reached on an error back in the third. One ball, no strikes to count to Griffin. 2 away here, bottom of the 5th. Highlanders have the tying run at second. As Moody misses that curveball outside, ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes.
Griffin always seems to get ahead here in these at-bats. He's so patient and so deliberate at the plate.
Tommy, of course, multi-sport talent for the Highlanders. As he watches ball 3. Basketball player as well. Ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. As Colin Bourne waits on deck.
Go, T!
Fastball up high, ball 4. 4 straight balls to Tommy Griffin. And the Highlanders have 2 on. With the number 3 batter, Colin Bourne, coming to the plate. Bourne is due. He's 0 for 2, striking out twice.
It'd be a big spot here for the Highlander pitcher to help himself out with 2 men on. We've seen this Highlander team time and time this year. A penchant for it, especially at home with 2 outs. Their ability to string together offense.
Caden Martell's at second. Griffin is at first. And Bourne swings through the fastball for strike 1. 2 away here, bottom of the 5th. Highlanders trailing by a run, 2-1. They've got the tying run at second. Go-ahead run is at first. That's a chopper. Shortstop. Right. Lets it get by him. Caden Martell is turning and coming home, and the Highlanders have tied it. As John Wright reached down with the backhand, wasn't able to field it. Bourne is on at first. Griffin moves up to second, and Caden Martell comes in to score the tying run for the Highlanders.
And again, Todd, it's just more sloppiness in the infield. We've seen it for both teams. Balls that have bled through and I thought Wright was going to be able to backhand that and flip over to second to end this inning, and instead it gets through his glove and leaks out in the left field. Martell was on the move, and once he turned around third, nothing was going to stop him making that break for home, and the Highlanders again.
Go-ahead run stands at second. That's Tommy Griffin, born at first. Sean Fusco at the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a triple.
Fashionable style. It's gritty but not pretty, but both of these teams have found ways now to get a pair of runs across the board here in a damp and wet day at Trump Field.
As Fusco swings and misses at strike one, no balls and a strike. To Fusco, 2 away. Highlanders get a 2-out run, I should say. Looking for more as the go-ahead stands at second. Fusco out ahead of that one for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Sean Fusco. The rain picks up even more.
Hey, pull him by, let's hit.
0-2 to Fusco. He's flies that deep center field, ranging back, trying to make the play, and he can't. It's Stamakulis. 1 run is in for the Highlanders. 2 runs are in for the Highlanders. And Sean Fusco is at second with a go-ahead 2 RBI double.
Sean Fusco has had the big bat today here for the Highlanders. He had that leadoff triple back in the second inning and just gets another tag onto this pitch, driving it deep into center field. Stamatakis, I thought, did a really good job to just track that ball for as long as he could, but as it came down on him, I think the wind made it very difficult for the Mustangs center fielder to really bring that ball in. It traveled and traveled, and he just couldn't pull it down into his mitt. It dropped deep into center field and allowed for both runners to come around and score. Huge for the Highlanders, how this inning has turned around. And not only do you take the lead now, Todd, you've got some insurance to work with here in the 5th.
Absolutely. Is Fusco able to get those 2 runs across? I think the wind knocked down Ardolino's ball earlier in the inning out to left field, but really helped out on that ball for Fusco.
No doubt.
As it moved around, and I don't think Stamatakis was able to really get a feel for where that ball was.
I give him credit. He kept a good beat onto it for a while, and I thought he was going to get underneath it at the last moment, but it's hard to read and hard to judge how that ball is hanging up there with the wind being such a factor here this afternoon. He almost got there, but misfortune with the elements, and the Highlanders happy to capitalize on that to take a 4-2 lead. And Moody now needs to find a way here to sit down Seeley.
2-out damage by the Highlanders. They've been doing it all year. They've scored 3 2-out runs. Seeley
Heads up.
fouls that one over towards the homes. 2 balls and a strike now to Caleb. That's one thing about this Highlander team this year. They've really done a lot of damage with 2 outs. Lynn Classical, they did damage with 2 outs. Everett, they did some damage as well against Peabody with 2 outs. This team, you've really got to close the door on them, because with 2 outs, they can find the thunder. Sean Fusco was the holder of the thunder today, as he is being judged worthy of holding Monier. Strike to Seeley evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Highlanders now with the 2-run lead. Colin Bourne has been very efficient on the mound.
Now he's going to have a 2-run lead to work with here, maybe more, depending on this pending pitch.
Fusco is at second. 2-2 offering from Moody outside. Oof. Ball 3.
I thought he
the count runs full.
I thought he had Seeley locked up again. From where we're sitting, Todd, that one looked good to me. And if I was behind the dish, I would have given it to him, but
that's why the umpire's back there. He's got a better angle.
It's what you want as a hitter, though. Live to fight one more pitch.
Full count offering. Outside, ball 4. Fusco was away with the pitch. The throw down gets by Burns. Fusco's in with a third run, or a three-run lead, I should say, a fourth run this inning. As the Highlanders causing trouble on the base paths. Seeley will stand at first after the walk. Fusco stole third and came home to score on the misplay on the throwdown. And now a three-run lead for the Highlanders, 5-2. As Donovan O'Brien comes to the plate, he singled in the fourth.
And just more trouble over there at third between Reagan, the catcher, and Burns standing there at what's been a really hot corner. And Sean Fusco, aggressive at the plate, double and a triple. And when he gets on base, that's when he knows he can be the most dangerous asset for this Highlanders team. His speed, his prowess, and his baseball IQ. The aggressiveness to steal third, and then you take advantage of a bad play from the throw down the line. Burns can't field it. And you come in to score to now go up by 3, entering this inning in a game where you only had manufactured 1 run prior. And all of this with 2 outs again, Todd. That trend reoccurring itself here this afternoon.
Highlanders with the 2 outs. Got to lock it down against them. Can't let them keep swinging the bats. As O'Brien doesn't swing the bat and watches strike 2 go across. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to O'Brien.
You know a new arm's going to be coming out here for the Mustangs. And so if you're Travers Moody here, whatever you've got left, got to empty it out.
Curveball leaves that one up high for ball 2 to O'Brien. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count. Yeah, this is the first inning I'm really getting a feeling that Moody might be laboring a little bit. Came into this inning at 68 pitches. He's well over 80 pitches now on the game. And it just seems to be that curveball doesn't break across as well as it has been.
Starting to lose dependability in it.
O'Brien swings and misses though as he gets O'Brien for the 3rd out. And that will do it. But the Highlanders, with 2 out thunder, score 4 2-out runs to take a 5-2 lead into the 6th inning here on Somerville Ed TV. Back at Trum Field as we go to the top half of the 6th inning here on Somerville Ed TV. Todd Harmon alongside Tyler Aragao. Highlanders get 4 2-out runs to take a 5-2 lead. And Colin Bourne is on the mound. He is at 63 pitches right now. He might have enough room to go the rest of the way, Tyler.
And he did last week against Peabody, and he was in a much higher spot in terms of pitches thrown in that outing against the Tanners compared to this outing here against the Mustangs. So this is right where you'd want him to be, if not in an even better situation. And with a 3-run lead now for the Highlanders, you don't want to put things into cruise control by any means against a team like Medford, but this is really the ideal spot to be in here to start the 6th inning off.
Crohan, Moody, and Sanchez to face off against Bourne. Crohan immediately behind 0-1. Watches ball 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count to Crohan. He had an RBI single back in the 1st inning. Was thrown out trying to stretch that into a double.
Highlanders scored 3 runs in the 4th inning last time here at Trum against Peabody and never really looked back after that. Todd, they had the lead well secured. They had the insurance in their back pocket, and Colin Bourne just took over the rest of the game and really shut out any hope. The Tanners did make a little bit of a comeback there in the 7th, but not much to really speak of. The game was already put out of hand and out of reach, and this is a different beast here for the Highlanders. See how they handle it.
Bourne took a little bit off that. The changeup rounded back to Bourne at the mound. 1-3 put out, 1 away here in the top half of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Travers Moody. Moody 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded back to the mound back in the 2nd inning, and then was intentionally walked and was stranded at 3rd base in the 4th.
And Todd, I'm not sure if our mics picked it up, but Sean Fusco, very vocal in the infield for the Highlanders, just letting his guys know, don't get lazy now. This is not the time for the Highlanders to, like we said, put this game into cruise control. You might feel that way, right? It's tempting, 5-2, that big inning. The bat's able to produce with 2 outs again, but this game's still very much hanging in the balance.
Out in the right field, that's going to get past Caden Martell. As Moody is around first, he's rounding second, he's heading to third, and he will take a lead-off triple. Or I should say, a triple as the second batter in the inning. Got a little ahead of myself. So Moody with a triple there, taking out the frustrations, I assume, from suffering those 4 runs with 2 out, 2 away that the Highlanders got in the 5th.
Case in point, Todd. Case in point. Still a lot of game to be played. The Mustangs, you know they want to respond after giving up those 4 runs. And Moody, no better way to help your own cause and to pick your team up off the mat here in the 6th than to lace one deep into right field. And I thought with how that ball was bounding, Todd, he would have had a shot for an inside the Parker.
Yeah, Caden Martell did a really nice job tracking that ball down and getting it in quickly. Got it to the cutoff man and then got it to Ardolino, who was by second base. And they were able to get it back into the infield quickly enough to keep Moody at third, but he had plenty of time to run. 1 away here, top of the 6th. Highlanders with a 3-run lead. Medford looking to cut into it. Moody at third. Sanchez swings and misses. Strike 2 now to Jaron Sanchez. He's behind 0-2. As again, you see the veteran attitude of Colin Bourne on the mound. He gave up that triple. He doesn't care about it. He's going right after the batter. He's got the 3-run lead. Not even looking at Moody as he fires it and catches the outside to Sanchez for called strike 3. 2 away here in the top of the 6th. That'll bring up Mike Stamatakis. I'm having the hardest time with Mike's name today. Stamatakis swings and misses at strike 1.
Reached on that error last time up in the 4th inning on Ardolino. On another ball that's been hit hard along the ground, and a theme of this game here at Trumfield. We've seen the infielders for both teams have issues. This game's been heavy on the errors, Todd, more so than any of the other ones, it feels like. From a combined standpoint, both of these teams have had some difficulty in the shallower portions of the field.
Sloppy day, kind of some sloppy play that we've seen.
And with Moody over there at third, Medford wouldn't mind a little bit more of that mucking things up to bring home a run.
That's fouled back into the screen by Stamatakis.
But going back, I was going to make a point on Bourne. It seemed that that's been his calling card this year. It's almost like whenever he does surrender that big knock, it serves as almost a jolt. Not that he's been asleep or sleepwalking through this start, but it almost resets things for him for that next at-bat, for that next hitter, and how he comes back and attacks things. You saw there on Sanchez. Picture-perfect example.
Leaves the fastball high and outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He wants a new ball now.
You go, Mike, win it!
Just the veteran presence of Colin Bourne on the mound. You know, talking to head coach Matty O'Donnell before the game, they suffered that loss at Lynn Classical. It was an 11-3 loss. And it was Ardolino on the mound, and he said, you know, it's just one of those days we didn't have it that day. But we got Bourne on the mound today, and I think we'll turn it around. When you've got a veteran presence like Colin Bourne who can break old Uncle Charlie across the plate for strike 3. That's 9 strikeouts on the day for Colin Bourne. Highlanders able to keep Medford off the board after the triple by Moody. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Highlanders with the 3-run lead here on Somerville Ed TV. Back at Trumfield on Somerville Ed TV. We've got a pitching change as John Wright is on the mound for the Mustangs in relief of Travers Moody. That'll shut the door on Moody as he went 5 innings, allowing 5 runs, all unearned on 4 hits, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. As Kyle Antonelli will lead off for the Highlanders. Wright will deal with the bottom third of the Highlanders order. Antonelli, Cunningham, and Martell. As Antonelli fouls the check swing off to start off this at bat. Highlanders with a 3-run lead, 5-2. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Colin Bourne just looking better and better on the mound for the Highlanders.
You got to feel really good about him going back out there to close this thing out with the Highlanders up by 3 and trying to extend it here.
That pitch from Wright down in the dirt, ball 1 to Antonelli. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wright, the other main starter for the Mustangs.
Big spot for him to step into here after Moody did just about all you could ask for out of a veteran and out of your starter. Coming out here in adverse weather conditions, cold, damp, and sloppy like we've said all afternoon long, and some jams early on in this game that he was able to work through. His team nursing that 2-1 lead for a couple of innings here, but that 5th inning with 2 outs, really where the Highlanders were able to finally get to him and make him pay. You could see the pitch count really starting to escalate, but I don't think on the road the Mustangs could have asked for much more out of him and his performance.
Yeah, Moody replaced after getting over 100 pitches, 102 pitches for Moody. He's over at shortstop now as he and Wright just switching places. Wright, though, behind now to Antonelli, 3-1. And he will walk Kyle Antonelli.
Let's go, Johnny.
That'll bring up you, Cunningham. Cunningham 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Wait a second. We may have a pinch runner here. We will. As McQueenie comes in to pinch run for the Highlanders. I think it's Mike McQueenie comes in. McQueenie, a young freshman, tight end for the football team. When head coach David Pereira of the football team talks about Mike McQueenie, his eyes just light up. He's very excited about the athleticism of the pinch runner out there right now. As Cunningham watches ball 1.
As much as you've got to enjoy the luxury of having the upperclassmen players that you do if you're Coach O'Donnell and those veterans that you can lean on, nothing gets a coach, I think, more excited than when he's got a young player on his hands that he knows he's going to have for hopefully the next 3 or 4 seasons here, and a chance to see how they're going to grow and progress and how they can help that young player grow and develop over the years. It's exciting when you look at it. I know from a hockey standpoint, Todd, we've spent a lot of time at the rink over the winters, and we've seen Highlander teams build and have to go through those cycles of building up and then rebuilding. It transcends all sports.
As McQueenie gets back in time after the pickoff from Wright, count is even 1-1 to you, Cunningham. It's one of the things I really enjoy, Tyler, over my years broadcasting in Somerville is watching these younger players get better and better throughout their careers. For the Highlanders, Preston Ortolino, a great example as well here on the baseball team. As Cunningham fouls that off. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count.
And it's just the nature of the beast. You're not able to keep everybody for as long as you would like. It's a finite amount of time, and you've got to be able to go through those cycles and find ways to replenish those cupboards over the years. And McQueenie hopes to be a factor here for the Highlanders and for Coach O'Donnell.
Wright steps off. You know, Tyler, I realized I'd been broadcasting in Somerville quite a while when I started broadcasting 13 years ago, girls basketball. Jemima Josephs was one of the star players. I got to watch her develop as a great player for the girls basketball team as Cunningham watches strike 3, 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up Caden Martell. And Jemima was an excellent player, got to watch her develop. She went on to play at UMass Boston as well, was an excellent player for UMass Boston in her college days. And guess what? She's back with Somerville now as an assistant coach on the girls basketball team.
Full circle.
So you watch it go full circle. I've been doing it that long.
It's awesome stuff, and it's awesome when it does have that ending where it comes all the way around and you go from having played as a Highlander 4 years and graduating and then coming back, I'd have to guess over a decade, if not more later, to then give it back as a coach and to be on the other side of that fence, so to speak.
The throw comes over, McQueenie in safely. I know baseball head coach Matty O'Donnell's excited about Mike McQueenie as well at first base, the pinch runner. He pitched yesterday for the junior varsity team against Lynn Classical, looked fantastic in that game.
These are opportunities for a young player. You're a freshman, your time maybe is being split right now, maybe playing more predominantly on the JV team, but you're up today on the varsity roster. You've been standing with your teammates all afternoon, being a good teammate and playing that role, but now you have a chance here in the 6th inning to be in a spot here where you're deployed as a pinch runner. Can go a long way if you make something happen here in a positive direction. And with Caden Martell up to bat, positive things tend to happen quite frequently for the Highlanders when number 4 is stepping in there.
Another one of the young players we get to watch, Caden Martell, a sophomore for the Highlanders. He's really breaking through this season. His defense in right has been tremendous. His work at the plate, he's been basically an additional leadoff man as he stays alive there, just barely making contact behind 0-2 here in this at-bat. As he reached back in the 5th, he scored what was at the time the tying run for the Highlanders. And Martell's done just a tremendous job as well. He pointed out his defense. He had a great double play back in the 5th inning where he charged in on a pop-up, was able to make the play and get the runner out at first. That's ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Martell. So number 4 going to be great to watch over these next couple of years as well as he develops into a better baseball player here for the Highlanders.
Another well-rounded Highlander athlete as well, Caden Martell.
That's inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the count to Martell.
Aragao certainly thought that Wright found his spot.
We're out here, cold weather, wind cutting through us. Wright, much slower worker on the mound than Moody was. Moody was very much a give me the ball and I'm ready to go. Wright stepping off, stepping away, walking around the mound a little bit. Different aspect of the position. This time Martell is not going to wait for him. He's going to step out. Probably a good idea there by the sophomore.
Taking some of his time back, so to speak, trying to reclaim his time almost like he's in a Senate Judiciary meeting.
2-2 offering to Martell. 3-2, I should say, as that is ball 4. Martell on base for the 3rd time today, as he's been on base every single time he's been up to the plate. And what that means when your number 9 guy is getting on base, that means your number 1 hitter, in this case Preston Ardolino, gets up more times. Ardolino, he's due. He's 0 for 3. He gave it a ride last time out into left. Caught just short of the fence out there. 1 away here. Highlanders have runners on second and first as they lead by 3, looking to add some more insurance. If they're able to get any more runs across here, that will pretty much guarantee Colin Bourne coming out to look to complete this game. Probably will be out on the mound anyway in the top half of the 7th inning, will Colin Bourne. That's up high. Catches, though, let her high for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count to Ardolino. As we look at it, Bourne is right around 75 pitches. So he has gas in the tank for a 7th inning.
I can't see him not going back out, Todd, in this situation, regardless of how things go here to Preston Ardolino. But you don't want opportunities ever to pass you up. And the Highlanders, they had a chance earlier on in this game with the bases loaded. Got a little too over-eager a couple of times trying to steal home. But you trust this bat here to make something happen for you.
Swings and misses as Wright looked like he had Ardolino's number on that at bat. That'll bring up Tommy Griffin with 2 away. Griffin has been on base all 3 of his plate appearances as he's walked twice, scored once, and reached by virtue of an error back in the 3rd. That pitch outside, ball 1 to Griffin. Griffin's such a good eye at the plate, really does a great job getting on base.
Well, he's one of the more disciplined hitters on this team, and all stems from his approach.
Fly ball left field. Ranging underneath it is O'Keefe, and he will make the play, and that will do it. Highlanders threaten in the 6th, but can't get anybody across. We go to the top of the 7th. Highlanders leading by 3. Bourne will be on the mound looking for the complete game win when we return here on Somerville Ed TV. We are back here at Broon. I forgot where I was.
Todd.
We're back here at Trump
Pull it
Field.
together, man.
As Colin Bourne is on the mound looking to get his 2nd complete game victory here for the Highlanders in 2 weeks, as he was able to get the complete game win last week against Peabody.
Todd, we'd be much more on the drier side of things if we were at Broon.
That is true. That is an excellent point. It's Caleb Jackson pinch hitting here for Medford.
What a game this has been, though, here at Trum between these two teams. The Highlanders trying to make another statement for themselves here at home in this real slog of a game. Got to tip your cap to both of these teams for suiting them up and going out there to play this thing out through into the 7th inning. And the Mustangs might not look all that great for them here on the scoreboard, Todd, down 5-2, but you know they're going to have something to say about it here to go down swinging at least.
That one's up high, ball 2, I believe. 2 balls and a strike, now the count to Jackson. Bourne 9 strikeouts in this game. Has allowed the 1 earned run. 2nd run for Medford was unearned. Holding a 3-run lead here. Looking to get through this 7th. He evens it up, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jackson. The Highlanders, with a win today, will qualify for the playoffs for the postseason after missing out on the postseason last year. It will also help them on their way to another GBL championship. They currently lead the GBL by 1 game over Lynn Classical and Malden. Loss today for Medford will knock them out of GBL championship contention. Full count offering to Jackson. Called strike 3. 10 strikeouts in the game for Colin Bourne. Highlanders are 2 outs away from going to the postseason again this year. That'll line up a huge game coming up for the Highlanders here at Trum, as Malden will be in to face off against the Highlanders. Highlanders with a win against Malden will be able to claim the GBL championship. Looking to close down Medford here. Swing and a miss for Chastain.
Ouch. As somebody who's a goalie, can speak to that. You get hit in a spot that's just not the spot, and he's trying to just right now collect himself and catch his breath.
Head coach Matty O'Donnell down there. Antonelli on the knee behind home plate. Michelle Kelly, Highlander trainer, one of the best trainers in the state, out there to check on Kyle. As we see Kyle standing now, shaking it off, trying to get back into play here, looking over the spring sports, as a matter of fact. Baseball right on the verge with a win today of making the postseason. Girls lacrosse, they are in the postseason as well, as they got their 9th victory yesterday against Malden. And volleyball is 1 win away from the postseason as well, as they are at Everett as we speak. An opportunity for them to solidify a postseason berth for the second year in a row with a win against Everett today. That will leave boys lacrosse and softball out of the postseason. Boys lacrosse, they're 5 wins away. They've only got 7 games remaining on their schedule, though, so they're going to have to go 5-2 over those last 7.
Never say die, Todd.
Exactly, no doubt about that. And over on the softball diamond, only 3 wins so far for the softball team. But they've got some young athletes on that team, no seniors whatsoever, and they can hit the ball. They just have to work on some fielding and some pitching, and they might be challenging for some championships as well.
Last week, when we were here on Monday against Peabody, next door at the softball field, they picked up a pretty thrilling extra innings 7-6 win.
Chastain swings and misses at strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Now the count to Chastain. Yes, the Somerville softball team also tough loss yesterday against Rockport, 12-10, I should say. But as I look up and down the scores, so many runs coming from this softball team. They got a lot of young players, not a lot of experience. They will get better as they get more experienced. Is that one fouled off? Count remains. No balls, 2 strikes. Highlanders 2 outs away from securing that postseason berth this year, eliminating Medford from the GBL chase. That's a pop-up foul towards Broadway.
I like to close my eyes and wait to see, Todd, and just wait to hear, not even see, but to hear the reaction from the folks behind us in the stands and standing there on Broadway.
0-2 to the number 9 batter, Chastain. Line shot, it's going to get in as it drops into right field. Chastain gets his second single of the day. Medford is not dead yet, as they will turn their lineup over, and they've got the power at the top of this lineup to get right back in this game and nullify the 3-run lead. Chastain stands at first. That'll bring up Mirando. As Mirando popped up to right. That was the play that Caden Martell came charging in, ran a country mile, and then doubled Chastain off of first.
Both teams have gotten good charges and good jumps from their respective 9-hole hitters this afternoon.
Bourne fires over. Chastain's back safely. Medford not going quietly into the good night. 1 away here. Top of the 7th, Highlanders with the 3-run lead.
That's what we would have expected.
Fastball fouled away by Miranda.
Go, Miranda. I want to play, man.
Colin Bourne looking to right the ship after the 11-3 loss at Lynn Classical on Monday. He has pitched a heck of a game, getting up around 90 pitches now. That pitch in the dirt. Antonelli made the block, but Chastain will go ahead and be able to get into second. So Medford has a runner in scoring position.
Good blocking there by Antonelli, who's laboring through it here in this 7th inning, but did a good job to keep that ball in front of him. Chastain's able to take second, but we've seen uglier bounces here at Trum with that backstop if the ball does get past.
Bourne checks Chastain at second. Line shot, foul here to the first base side. Count runs, 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Miranda.
He's making some contact. He's fishing for his pitch here. Fouled a couple of them back.
See if Bourne wants to take a little bit off this pitch. Miranda very aggressive. Instead, he'll turn, get Chastain back to second. One ball, 2 strikes to Miranda. Took a little bit off. Mirando swings, drowns to second. Fusco hops, throws, and that's 2 away. Chastain advances to third on the out. 1 out away are the Highlanders. Bourne, an out away from his second straight complete game win. John Wright will come up. Wright, 2 for 3 on the day. Single, double run scored, reached by virtue of an error by Fusco in the 5th. Wright came on in relief of Moody in the 6th inning. Started the game at shortstop. That pitch left up high for ball 1. Wright came in a .289 batter on the season with 8 RBIs and 9 runs scored. Now he's got 10 runs scored after his run in this game. Chastain stands at third. Fastball knee high for called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count to Wright. Colin Bourne looking to shut the door on Medford here, leading by 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th. This is Bourne's game to win or lose. Nobody has warmed up for the Highlanders. Leaves the curve up high. 2 balls and a strike.
This is whose hands, though, you'd want the game to be in if you're the Highlanders. And he's done a good job not digging himself into deep holes in these at-bats.
Fastball fouled back into the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Wright. 2 away here, top of the 7th inning. Highlanders with the 3-run lead. Looking for their 9th win on the season. That's down in the dirt. Good job by Antonelli blocking it. Runs the count full.
Another great job behind the plate there by Kyle Antonelli. Just keeping everything in front of him and allowing for his pitcher Bourne to regroup here, facing a full count. The Mustangs down to their final strike.
Full count to Wright. Highlanders lead by 3. That's a fastball, ground ball. Seeley will range across, get it, fire, and that will do it. As the Highlanders come away with the 5-2 win, they move their GBL record to 8-1. They are 9-2 overall, and they are back in the postseason as they will be going to the Division II playoffs this year. Medford will drop to 6-7 overall, 6-4, I should say, in the GBL. They have been eliminated from the GBL chase, so there will be a new champion in the GBL this year. And right now, the Highlanders look like who that will be, as they are 1 game up on the Lynn Classical Rams and the Malden Golden Tornadoes. Tremendous game on the mound for Colin Bourne as he went 7 innings, allowed 2 runs, 1 of which was earned. Struck out, let's see here, he struck out 10 and walked nobody, as Bourne had a tremendous game righting the ship after a loss to Lynn Classical, and the Highlanders back in the postseason and really lined up for that game against Malden coming up Monday.
Back in the postseason and back in the win column, showing the resiliency they've shown as a group this year and getting it done once again on the backs of their leaders. And it starts with Colin Bourne, number 22, on the mound, and when he's tabbed for a start, you can't help but have a good feeling if you're a Highlander going into that game, and it doesn't matter the opponent. You've got full faith that he's going to go out and execute on the mound like he did today, and you can't go into every outing expecting 7 full innings of domination like that, but you know the chances are pretty high when Bourne is on the mound, and when he pitches like that, He gives his team a chance. Medford came out. They were able to take advantage of things early on in this game. They had a lead to work with at 2-1, but the Highlanders sticking to those trends that we've seen this year, Todd. A dangerous team with 2 outs, the bottom of the order producing with some timely hits, but today, in terms of offense, it was Sean Fusco's day. He had the big bat going for the Highlanders, and when you couple that with Bourne's pitching, it doesn't take much for this Highlanders team, but they got enough here on a damp and dreary day at Trump Field to get the job done.
No doubt about it, Sean Fusco. He was the offensive power for the Highlanders. 2 for 3 on the day, a double, a triple, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs for the Highlanders second baseman. As Sean Fusco's bat and Colin Bourne's arm lead the Highlanders into the postseason with a win over Medford today by the score of 5-2. That's going to do it for us today from Trump Field. Thank you so much for watching at home. Really, really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, Tyler Aragao on commentary. Great job, Tyler. Thank you. Bill Trudell on camera. Thank you very much. Joe Constantine, he is our director. As well, as far as I'm aware, his windshield is in one piece now. I am Todd Harmon, and you have been watching Somerville Highlander Baseball on Somerville Ed TV.